Hello folks, I've been given another computer. Yay! Always love it when I get computers. When people say I've got an old computer, do you want it? You're never quite sure what you're going to get. I got given this one because it wasn't working. Plain and simple. I was told it kind of powers up, you go to switch it on and it pretty much switches off straight away. Well, I've established what the problem with this was. Basically, the power supply was no good, and interestingly enough, this power supply that I've put in it, I'd actually picked up on FreeCycle the day before I picked this up. So I now have, barring hard drives, because the person I got this off had taken the hard drives out for obvious reasons, I now have, barring hard drives, a complete system, which is great, a complete working system. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the side panels off and we'll take a look at what's inside. Just thought before I take these off, you might want to see these rather wonderful thumb screws that we have on here. They're actually quite nice. Whether I'll leave them on this case or use them on something else, I don't know, but it's a good quality case. This panels are very easy to remove and are reasonably straight, not too much warping, reasonably thick. It's a micro ATX case, but it's set up more like a mid-tower case really, particularly with these hard drive bays here. So you've got room for 1, 2, 3, 4 hard drives in there, maybe 5. Probably squeeze one up there maybe. Plus obviously the external 3.5 bay, so you could get quite a few in if you wanted to. It's a socket 775 board, which is fine at the moment because really they're the only systems I'm using at the moment. It's actually newer than the board in my home theatre PC, so this board might go in there. It's a Foxconn and the model number is RC4107MA RS2H. It's got an ATI chipset, interestingly. So I think the onboard graphics are equivalent to X300, so pretty basic, but obviously PCI Express socket. It's got a Foxconn cooler which screws in, so this does actually have a backplate on it. That's very loud actually. It's not a PWM cooler, it's just a 3-pin. And when you fire it up, it's loud because it spins at full speed, so that's going to need some slowing down, either on a fan controller or maybe a resistor or something, a rear 80mm fan. But you can get a 92 on that. There's room in the front for 120. And I'm just going to show you something else here. We'll remove the other side panel. There we go. Lovely big opening on the back here, so we can get at the CPU retention plate, which as you can see this does have, and a really nice area here for cable management. But the only issue is there's no way of getting the cables over this lip, so we need a little bit of, well, possibly get some through there, but that's not very big, so I might just need something cutting out here. But other than that, this is actually a half decent case. I don't really like micro ATX cases, but this one is kind of you know, got some features that you normally only get on mid-towers. Certainly this kind of idea here. So there's potential for this case to actually be quite neat and tidy. I think it's longer this way than the usual micro ATX case, so that they can have this kind of arrangement. So that's actually quite impressive. Now I've had to do a bit of cleaning out on this because when I got it, I'll be honest, I thought that was the reason why it wasn't working. It's absolutely caked in dust, and I'm going to post some pictures at the end of this video so you can see what it was like. I spent most of yesterday cleaning this out. But there we go. So as I say, not too sure what I'm going to do with everything in here, but as I say, I think the motherboard is going to go in the home theatre PC, which means I'll have to rebuild that, because I'll have to reinstall Windows 7 and Media Portal. This top drive here is a Philips LightScribe DVD rewriter, so I might put that in my main system. I think there's just a box standard beige rewriter in there. It was actually an old E-System PC. There's a media bay in the front. Doesn't have a lot in there. Card reader. Yeah, I just bought some card readers, and that one's actually quite nice. This is the power supply that came with it. It was an ISO, not a brand I'd heard of, 400 watt power supply. It works. I've shorted it out, and it works, but it doesn't work in the PC. So I think there's some issue with it somewhere. I don't know whether it's not picking up the signals from the motherboard or something, because this one certainly works. This is a Bestech 300 watt. It's only a 20 pin, it's not a 24 pin. So it's not ideal, but as I say, be enough to get the system up and running. And it's not too loud either. So, you know, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. So there we go. Thanks very much for watching this video. As I say, I'm just going to put the pictures and things on at the end, so you can see what we've had to do with this already. So thank you very much for watching. Hi there, just thought you might want to hear this running and just hear how loud it is. So, not to show how my friend who gave me this coped with that, this did have Windows XP Media Center Edition on it, believe it or not, so too noisy for a media PC really. So I'll have to ask him that, but there we go.